Tiger fans, get on your feet and welcome your hometown Tigers! Hey, so it's John's birthday. Welcome. Greet him today with a happy birthday.
He says he can.
Yes, he can. Tell him to give me a shot of the top of the palm tree. Give me a shot for one of the cameras.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna start. Yeah.
Hey, set.
We are live broadcasting from Paradise here at Hartley Stadium, located just north of the Manatee River. Welcome to TigerVision, as presented by Conley Buick GMC. The Palmetto Tigers are going to kick this one off here. 12 minutes on the clock.
Back to receive the kickoff.
And kicking off will be Joden Gallarado for the Tigers.
And number 2, Matt Connolly.
Gallarado's kick, a very low kick. It's going to be fielded there at the 2-yard line, turning it up to the middle of the field. Gets a block out there. Got a little bit of a crease down at the 20-yard line. Excellent return there by number 2, Matt Connolly.
Matt Connolly with a return out to around the 20-yard line.
Well, Brian, the defense gets the ball first.
10,
Jalen Wester's our anchor on the defense. If we're going to have a great season, we're going to need him upright and healthy all year. He's already committed to Florida Atlantic and has been a superstar in the defense the last 2 seasons.
Coming out here wide is number 18, Shea Springer, as quarterback. Christian Bishop will take the snap. Big back in the backfield, number 20, or number 10, is Jason Albritton. Coming across the formation is number 4, J.C. Roku. Lining up in the slot. Got a little wing T action going here. Roku runs, fakes it to that, hands the ball off to Albritton. No gain on the play. Gain of about half a yard. Good play by the defense.
Albritton rushed for 700 yards. You're going to see a lot of him tonight, Brian. You're going to see a lot of number 4. Between the two of them, 2/3 of the offense, and then the slot guy, I think you had said maybe 3/4 of all their offense. Those are their key returners for Newsome in 2021.
Good start for the Palmetto High defense here, and now behind the chains are the Wolves. Albritton gets the ball, bounces outside. He's got a big lane. Now he's hitting the sideline, and he's going to be eventually forced out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Nice run by the big back.
Yeah, a lot of speed for that big man. Hit that edge and just took off. Tigers got a little caught on the edge there and got blocked off the edge, and just a wide open lane for that big boy.
He reminds me of an old Larry Zonka, but he's actually got good feet on him. He can get outside and take the ball up the field.
Yeah, reminds me a little bit of the Purdue back and Buccaneer former
Mike Allstar, yeah, Northside Christian.
Big runner with good feet out there. Now they run a little jet sweep, turning the corner there, and nice gain on the play of about 5 yards, and that is J.C. Rogue. He's 5'9", 165 pounds. Last year, I think he averaged 11 yards per game.
And you're going to see a lot of him coming out of the slot, running that. That's his bread and butter play. They do very well with it. He reminds me of Warwick Dunn, so it's like a Tampa Bay Buccaneer backfield from 20 years ago. Very elusive.
And then the counter,
just
number
a sophomore.
42, Drew Dempsey in the slot. This time they fake that. They go with Albritton up inside. Nice run on the play of about 2.5, 3 yards. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 5.
And this is their offense. Newsome is the wing T. It's designed for the run. Tigers are going to need to figure out a way to slow this down, to force them to throw to beat us.
So 3rd and 5. Wing T coming across the formation. There is Dempsey. Sets up shop to the left slot. Now coming across again. They hand it to him. And he's going to be tackled there. Great play, and that's going to be Jalen Wester along with number 41, which is Kyrie Marshall.
How many times have we seen that, Rick?
Yeah, Big Baby is quick. I think he's gotten a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger since the offseason. He's a senior now. He's the leader of this defense. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I just noticed to think that he looks like he's put on 5 or 10 pounds and hasn't lost any of that speed you talked about.
Ryan Eckerly will go back there to punt this one. A very, very, very strong-legged punter back there. Gets a very nice snap. Gets the ball up. Nice punt. It's a driving punt. It's going to be fielded there, shaking initial tackle, turning it in, and that's Simpson, and he's making another guy miss. And he goes down at the 26-yard line.
That was a really good job by Simpson. Some of those returners back there may have just let that thing fall. Because it floated for a long time in the air, and he stood there and knowing he may take a hit and was able to pick up a good 10 yards.
And we saw a lot. That's Simmons, and we saw a lot of him as a defensive back, making a couple interceptions in the Tampa Jesuit game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a college punt right there, 4.5 seconds, if not better. And most people would fair catch that thing just to protect himself, and he ended up getting a nice 15, 20-yard return out of it.
All right, in the formation now is freshman Xander Smith out there handling the Palmetto Tiger offense. He looks out there, and then he cuts a little inside screen. He's going to need a block. Going down there to make the catch is Benson, and goes for a gain of about 4 yards.
Xander Smith put up some monster yards last year for Braden and Christian. One game putting up over 500 yards in a high school football game, unheard of.
Vontae Humans is in the backfield there with Sanders. Switches over sidecar left to the right. Nice handoff, jet sweep. Good speed out there. Rockland Lodge goes for a gain, very close to the first down.
Yeah, I think you got it, Brian.
Yes.
You can really tell that this team is a different offense with our young quarterback. And he's very intelligent. He picked up the offense very quickly, and he knows exactly where everybody needs to be. And that's what a quarterback is supposed to do.
1st and 10, Palmetto Tigers. 8:27 on the clock. Xander, boy, that's a nice throw. Benson shakes the initial defender, and then he's going to be tackled after a 2-yard gain there. Coming up for a nice play there and shaken up on the play is the defender.
Yeah, really looking for Benson to have a big season, y'all. I mean, he's definitely gotten a little bit bigger, in my opinion. His legs are like trucks. We know that he's shifty. He can cut on a dime. Reminds me a lot of Bubba back in the day. Maybe not as elusive, but he definitely is a great offensive key and a weapon for the Tiger offense.
Shaking up on the play is J.J. Johnson. He's a 6-foot, 175-pound linebacker. Came up with a nice hit on the play. And so with this pause in action here, the clock's at 8:07. It'll be a 2nd and 8 for those Tigers.
So going back and looking at the spring game, knowing that how the offense really struggled during that spring game, it's really going to be a key for us for this offensive line to continue to grow as a unit and to do what's necessary to get these backs some holes to run through. But they look a lot bigger than they did just 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
And there's Benson, and he fakes it, throws it to Timmons, makes a nice move. He's got the first down and more, driven out of bounds. And it looks like they spot him right at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, what a big pickup for the Tigers. For Timmons to be here, come back home from Riverview, and very athletic. He will be the go-to receiver for Xander, there's no doubt.
Smith hands it to Humans. Tries to break a tackle or two. Really good defense. Along the line of scrimmage there is number 12, and that is Eli Hiscock on the play. He's a 6'2", 215-pound sophomore.
And I like Humans. I think he'll be that power back that we need. When you got that goal line stance and you really need to get some points out of it, and he's going to be that power guy. He may not be as big as number 40 over there on the other side, but he's big enough.
He's our between the tackles guy for sure.
Cleve Benson, kind of a big formation, Benson in the backfield. Jet sweep, and that's Rockland Lodge, and delivers a nice blow, but good tackle on the play by number 7 is Amir Austin, the 5'10", 165-pound senior defensive back.
Yeah, we're a young team, guys, which is a good thing when we talk about the future. So I'm really looking to just see these athletic players get better and better every week, because we do have a lot of athleticism on this team.
So now a 3rd and long. Palmetto moves, a little movement over there, and that's going to be a fault. It's going to be encroachment on the Wolves, so that's going to bring up a really favorable 3rd down situation.
And is that our freshman quarterback that's drawing them off sides like a veteran out there?
I tell you, when I first saw Xander Smith, I couldn't believe how big he was. When I saw him in person, I mean, just got that quarterback look, doesn't he?
Well, that 6'4", 225-pound frame out there gives you some options, in these kind of situations with a willingness to run. You can remember those Venice quarterbacks, and they kind of on 3rd and short, it gives you another
look. Another guy put the backup in.
I kind of prefer watching him spin the bean, though. Now he rolls to his right. He's going to run for the first down. He's got it, and he's at the 40, and he steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
And gentlemen, if he can do that, he will be off the charts, moving the chains. Number 15, some guy that played up at St. Augustine and then a place called Gainesville, made a career doing that. Won a Heisman and a couple of national championships.
Yeah, he's got really good looking size there, and really the Palmetto offense looking pretty impressive here on this first drive. 6:05 on the clock here. And we have a water break.
And pretty impressive with the speed that he was able to get around the edge. He had a defender that
took the ball up when there was nowhere to go, timed it just right, just like we saw here. It's like a seasoned veteran.
Xander Smith, he has 2 receivers out in the formation off here to the left. Benson in the backfield. Fakes it to Benson. Now he's throwing the long ball down the middle of the field, tied up in traffic.
He bumped him.
And there's going to be defensive holding on that one.
I tell you, if that DB doesn't hold there, that's a TD. There's no doubt. That ball was perfectly thrown. A great touch.
Yes, you're right. That was a touchdown. He saved a touchdown on that play. Good call, Rick.
Pass interference.
So in high school, they move it up 10 yards and it's a first down, something like that.
I agree with
So they're going to move that. 5 minutes and 53 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Palmetto Tigers driving.
And if we can have some long, sustained drives, that just makes that option offense that they have with the wing T not less effective, because they want to grind it out on us and wear us down.
Rockland Lodge on the jet sweep, tries to get an edge, and he slips through there for about a 3-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, we talk about this. We talked about it a lot last year. We get these receivers to stay on those blocks and just for a couple seconds longer to allow that play to develop. Those will be big gains for us later on.
So now in the Obie's Best Fresh Veggie Red Zone. Xander Smith looks over to the sideline, checks. He's got Rockland Lodge out here wide to the left. Big Timmons is out there wide to the right, and Cleve Benson in the slot. Vontae Humans in the backfield. Changing things up, Xanders. Hands the ball off to Humans. Running hard and low, goes to the 5-yard line. Nice gain of about 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 3.
That's why he's here between the tackles. Nice run. That's the best run we've seen him in a Tiger uniform to date.
What a great football name, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a great football name. It's nice to be blessed with a great football name.
Single back formation. Timmons is out here wide to the right. Vontae Humans, and then we have Cleve Benson in the slot. and Rockland lodges wide to the right boundary. This time they hand it to Humans. Gets a nice block, but a really good play there by 68. And 68 fights his way through there, and that's going to be Augustus Teepee. That's a 6'4", 285-pound senior defensive lineman.
Coach is leaving the offense out there in the field. Humans, that play blew up on the left side of the line, so he tried to scoot between the gap of the right guard and tackle to at least get a little bit. So looks like we can get a first down, fourth
three. Yeah, a long 2, short 3 on this one. Timeout now by the Wolves. That's their first time out of the game.
Well, this will be a big confidence booster if we can pick up this first down or get into the end zone. And this offense is really for the first time coming together as a unit for an official game. So many new young players here. Obviously, the quarterback has just come over from last season, learning the offense. But I'm really excited just from what I've heard, what I've seen even before tonight, and about the athleticism that this offense has and what they're capable of doing. So once they completely learn their role, Kenny, and get that experience, I mean, this could be a very explosive unit right here.
I've heard the same thing, athletic. And, yes, learning their role and then learning each other, and we're going to need that with the schedule we're playing, but a lot of upside here.
Interesting here, Jalen Wester in the slot back position, normally a linebacker for these Tigers. See if they run right on this play. And they run left, change it up. Driving forward is Benson, and he's got the first down.
Interesting call. I love it.
Got the very aggressive linebacker over there on the right side, and you think, okay, they got a new big blocker. We haven't seen that, and they run the ball left. Great play call by Ty Stolt, the offensive coordinator up there in the above us.
Yeah, it looks like Jalen may have been the key block on that. He was right in there, and Benson just kind of followed behind him. So new set of downs here, guys.
First and goal.
Kind of a single receiver formation, unique look. And look at Jalen Wester, the linebacker out there in the slot. This time they hand it off to Humans. Drives forward for a nice gain. Very close. Man, he's going to be about half a yard short.
Wow, I was going to say, that's like on the 1 foot line. That is really close there.
So Jalen's been in for 2 plays, and they've run his way both times with some success.
And then, eventually they'll throw to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
it
may not be tonight.
Hopefully against Venice or a game when we need it, when they don't expect it.
Humans in the backfield. And it's a quarterback sneak with the big quarterback, and he's into the end zone for 6. And that's what we talked about earlier, Ken. 6'4", 225. You don't have to – you just have to be willing.
That's right.
At that size out here on the high school level, you don't have to run a 4.4. That frame is going to put him across the line.
He's not afraid to put his head in there and take a lick and pick up those needed yards when he needs to.
Oh, no.
And again, the beauty of this drive is we ate up the clock, which takes away from their offense.
Benson with a hold. Nice snap by McMillan, and it's a kick, and it is up and good by Joden Colorado. So we did see a lightning flash way off on the horizon.
Don't tell anybody.
Usually that will be a stoppage of play, but we happen to be looking out due south and saw a little bit, maybe that's far enough away.
It's August football. How many times have we been rained out and chased out and have to come back?
More than we wanted to
get
discuss.
Home,
oh, my goodness.
Get home at midnight.
I remember, I think it was 2 years ago at Riverview. We were on a roll, and all of a sudden, lightning struck the sky, opened up, and
it's right over Butch Hughes' gym. I just saw a strike.
Yeah. So, I can remember one game, it was the Manatee game. Palmetto had a great thing going, and, it was early in the third quarter with a big lead, and the lightning came out, and we had to do the broadcast the next morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. We waited around for about 2 hours to see if we'd be able to restart the broadcast. Well, it was a fun night.
Back in the days, it was nice starting around Labor Day this season, and you didn't have to deal with this stuff as much. It's still there, but not as prevalent.
Right.
Joden Colorado will kick this one away, get a kick out of good service from our friends at DeVito's Auto located in Ellenton, Florida. Colorado puts his foot into this one, and this one is a high driving kick, and that is 5 yards deep into the end zone.
That's always a good sign when you're thinking about playoffs. If your kicker can, this early in the season, kicking it in the end zone already, that's a good job with Robbie Stevenson getting him ready tonight.
So still over there in the distance, still seeing some lightning. You know, not hearing the thunderclaps here.
Yeah, right over the Butch Hughes Gymnasium, just directly southeast of where we're viewing up here.
And so now 3:17 on the clock here in the first quarter. The Palmetto Tigers with a lead. Now the Wolves line up with single back, single wing, and Big Albritton is back there in the backfield. And they go with Albritton, and he has a nice tackle there. Goes for a gain of about 2 yards.
And that looked like that was all on him. He just bulldozed over somebody. Nowhere to go. The defense was spot there, but makes a short gain out of nothing.
I think the Riley Jackson on the play along the defensive line. Riley Jackson's been doing yeoman's work. He's been playing both sides of the he's playing offensive and defensive line this year. Oh, there's a fumble on the exchange. Ball's down. Albritton scrambles back to it, but it's going to be a loss of about 1 on the play.
Yeah, I really think that, going back to Riley, I think they need him. They want him on defense. They know that he may have to switch back and forth some, but he's definitely going to be a defensive player for us. That's just where they have to have him. I'm just, and hopefully the offensive line is going to be able to pick up without him. And
now a good look at number 11, Greg Parker, new defensive end for the Tigers, 6'3", 205. He's got the look of a rush D end out there. And then on the other side of the formation, you've got number 12, Mikkel Gibson, the linebacker, 6'0", 225. With a new quarterback for the Wolves, with those two rush D ends and a 3rd and 10, not a situation you want to be in as a single wing or a wing T football team.
And again, you want them behind the chains. That's not their strength. They want to run the ball, grind it out, and so switching quarterbacks maybe to give them a better chance to move the chains.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're starting this game off with a wing T style offense. And, if we go back, not that we don't have Charlotte in our schedule anymore, or Port Charlotte, but I remember having to meet them late in the season for the first time. We haven't played against a wing team, and they're in front of us, and they would give us a lot of issues, if you recall. And sometimes it takes the defense a whole quarter just to figure out what's going on. And, so any experience you can get, it helps out down the road. We don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and Marino has always done a masterful job of scheduling wing T and wing T teams back to back, and usually a lesser opponent wing T and the next better opponent. So they're going with the out and up. Lots of pressure there. Ball's in the air. Good defense there. Number 14 for those Tigers is Alzavian Houston.
Got a clear hold back.
Jalen Western putting tremendous pressure on the quarterback. Had no chance. He underthrew it.
Yeah, and Tom said we got a hold on the. Did they call it, Tommy?
Yeah, they did. It's right here at the 16-yard line or so. They called it. It was very, very obvious.
We'll take the ball.
That's it. You guys were talking earlier about Riley, and he's really the only guy on the defensive line with any size. He's a pretty stout kid, got some big, thick thighs. A lot of the defenders are a little more athletic, but he's the run stopper in the middle, so they're going to need him to stay healthy this year.
Yeah, I really don't know how much they'll be able to use him both ways. I know there may be certain circumstances that they may want to put him in just for a key block, but he's going to have to play that D-line.
Now the very strong-legged Ryan Eckerly back to punt. Lots of rush there. He gets a low end-over-eight kick. Benson waits, and the Palmetto Tigers. Ball's down.
Goodness.
And then a heads-up play there to recover that one. Ball is down at the 23. Number 41 was
Kyrie Marshall.
Kyrie Marshall.
Tigers will take over on their own
Kyrie's like, where'd that ball come from?
44-yard line.
That's hard for those guys that are coming downfield blocking. They got their heads up. They're not paying attention to what's going on, in front of them. They're just trying to make a key block.
And then you've got Cleve back there, I'm sure, doing the old Pete, thing. But no idea where the ball was on that kind of play. Fortunate break for the Tigers, but now it is 1st and 10. 1:49 on the clock here in the first quarter. Xander Smith back in the backfield as a quarterback with Levante Humans back there with him. Rockland Lodge in the slot. Big Callaway is out here on the boundary. This time they hand it off to Humans. A little jump cut there, and goes for a gain of about 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, definitely picked up a couple of yards out of nothing right there with a nice little spin move. Once again, very athletic, very quick.
And Malik Callaway, I think when we first started watching him, he was a 6'1" wide receiver. He's 6'4", very athletic receiver. And then you've got 6'3" over here with Timmons and Benson in the slot with Humans in the backfield. And tonight, Xander Smith spinning the bean. Really lots of skill people out there, and it's going to be about the offensive line this year. And this time he throws it out there, and it's just overthrown. And so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Tigers.
Yeah, looks like that one got away from Xander a little bit. He's been spot on all night with his touch, his throws, and accuracy, but can make it up here on this 3rd and 8.
Yeah, he was wiping his hand off on that last throw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the worst throw he's had all night up to this point. So,
I think that's his first incompletion.
Yeah, the veterans out there along the offensive line, Kywan Smith along with Eric Bruss. Oh, boy, and then he slips it out here. And there's
nice
Timmons,
move.
makes one miss, and he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down, so it brings up a 4th and 2.
What do you do?
you're going to go.
You go for
You're
it.
going for it.
I got
Try to get him off sides here.
I got a big back and a big quarterback there, and a long 2 yards, and they're coming up with a big front. They got 5 across the line, dropping in with 2 linebackers. Kind of a nickel look. Rolling it up.
Yep.
Now
think
that
about
brings
it.
up a timeout for the Tigers. That'll be their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds, or on the first quarter, 37 seconds remain.
And that was a good call to see how they lined up on him. And, okay, we can stop here and take a look about it and see what's going on.
Guys, we got a breeze blowing in from the northwest here, but this front's coming across the other side of the stadium here. It doesn't look like it's very deep, but it is a pretty ominous-looking line there, so hopefully we can get through that and not have any lightning strikes. That'd be great. We got a pretty full stadium tonight. Both sides of the concession stands packed down here. Pretty good atmosphere. Nice warm weather, nice little breeze blowing.
I'd say with the experience of all of us up here, we got about an 85% chance of that thing getting us, and we're going to have a stoppage of play sometime here in the broadcast.
Way to be positive, Brian.
Yeah, optimism, my friend.
That's
Optimism.
reality. I think we all know that. 85. You're so right.
High snap. Gathers it. Boy, they didn't come in and rush that.
You probably could run for that.
And
Bounce.
that one is going to be fielded, fair caught at the 15-yard line. No, I guess no buffer zone violation in high school football because it's pretty close to the returner on that one, Ken.
Tommy, you may have to put on your rain shorts.
Tom Porter,
He has his rain shorts on.
Arctic Air sideline reporter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You need to put your rain shorts on. I
Oh,
think.
no, these are my rain shorts. These
Okay.
are multi-function shorts here. So, I can't get lost in these either. They're really bright. They're like, if you're out on a rainy night like tonight, then you're never going to get lost.
You're on your way to the skating ring when this is over.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to skate
Gotcha.
backwards.
I got you.
It was a very sunny summer. You could have thought about getting a little tan on those legs.
Well,
Tom.
I try to do something different every year just to draw a little bit more attention to the sideline, and, sometimes it works.
All right. So now they line up in a single wing look, and it's all Britton, and big hit there, and that's going to be 41 and number 23. So 41 on the play is Kyrie Marshall once again.
Yeah, Kyrie is already making an impact defensively in this game. And what a bruiser! I mean, that's a big man to bring down, and he's had to bring him down by himself twice already this game.
He's given up 20 pounds on him, and 25 maybe, and for sure, and he's handling them okay. End of the quarter.
So at the end of the quarter, the Palmetto Tigers lead this one 7-0.
Hello, this is Mike McDonald with Conley Buick GMC. In celebration of the Olympics, come and take advantage of our gold medal savings on all our remaining 2021s, Buicks and GMCs in stock. If we don't have an exact vehicle for you, now's the time to place your order for a 2022. We have over 60 GMC Sierras coming in this month, so we have plenty of inventory. We're not going to charge over MSRP like our competition. Come down to Conley Buick GMC where you too will be treated like family.
I'm Tom Redmond, delivery specialist here at the all-new Conley Subaru, and this is the 2021 Subaru Crosstrek Limited with the EyeSight system. Subaru's EyeSight driver assist technology is a set of dual color cameras mounted high, scanning the road, trying to help you avoid or reduce frontal impacts. The Subaru EyeSight system, helping you stay safe. Visit us at 816 Cortez Road West, Bradenton, Florida, where we treat you like family.
All right, 12 minutes on the clock. Start of the second quarter here. Very ominous cloud on the horizon for those of you that join us here a little bit later tonight. You know, it started out at game time. It was about a nice 88-degree weather. Things are cooling off dramatically and very quickly here. And I'm no weatherman, but Ken, generally, what would that be an indication is coming up?
Thunderstorm?
Thunderstorms.
All right,
Florida.
2nd and 5. Oh, nice little tricky play there, trap play, and he goes for a gain of about 2.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that fooled me. I was not looking in the right direction.
But Kyrie Marshall, once again, you know, the 5'11", 194-pound linebacker making a lot of plays out here, Ken.
And again, when you watch number 4, that is how he's going to get the ball. He's going to come out of his slot position and run a jet sweep. That's his bread and butter.
Now they line up things and back into the wing T look. Albritton in the backfield. And they hand it to Albritton. Running hard, running low, first down.
They got a player down.
Yeah, that definitely was an all-star type run there.
Yeah, Jason Albritton with a dive play.
Is that their quarterback down?
No, it looks like number 54.
Okay, that's a lineman.
Sam Torres.
Oh yeah, he's holding his knee. He is hurting.
And he's one of those 6'2", 225-pound senior, undersized linemen. But when you're running that wing T, you need smaller linemen.
Smaller, more athletic.
Right.
You block zones and
pulling guards.
Yeah, it levels the playing field. They look at they block on angles. They use advantages. Five people on one side of the field, 6 on another, so they attack the 5 side. It's all a numbers game, and it levels a defense. If you got a stout and athletic defense like we have, it levels the playing field. That's the intent.
So with the stoppage of the play here, 11:16 on the clock here in the second quarter. Palmetto Tigers lead this one 7-0. You know, some of the early observations of the game here, Ken. You know, I thought the Tigers came out with their offense. Xander Smith, you know, in the quarterback position, a freshman. And we haven't talked much about him, but, you know, I'd looked at some of his stats. I think in his third game quarterbacking a varsity team as an 8th grader, he had over 500 yards passing. And you think, well, it's a lesser competition here and there, but if you throw for 500 yards on air, that's still a lot of numbers.
You equate those. In a college, a high school game is 3 quarters in college. So, yeah, and I think it was against Northside Christian, which is Mike Allstott's school.
And you're going to have an opportunity with the Tigers to, you know, have 2 quarterbacks. You know, it reminds me of, you know, the Chris Leak and Tim Tebow in his early years. And now we have Lang, and he's able to do
Nuka,
what he did.
yes.
Nuka's great. And what happened with Nuka in the spring game, you know, and you couldn't see it on TigerVision, but the wind was blowing about 26 miles an hour steady with gusts of about 35,
Remember
40.
we froze?
Yeah.
We were freezing
Brian?
at that game?
Yeah, Tom.
Hey, Brian, that's your second Tim Tebow reference for the game, and I think that's the limit. So
Okay,
we need to find someone else, buddy.
Jameis Winston.
Thank you.
Or last year, Blackman there, and then the other guy that came in and ran. What do you got, Tom?
You can say Warfel if you want to, but not Tebow.
Okay. And now he drops back. Bishop looks. He's got the ball
he's
down the
wide
middle.
open.
Wide open receiver. Catches it at the 25, 20, 10. Touchdown. And that is number 2. And you see the speed there by Matt Connolly. 6'2", 170-pound junior.
Yeah, there must have been a breakdown in the coverage because he was wide open by 10 fields. But number 23, James Simmons, looked like he had regained it and caught him and had an angle on him, but apparently not. He took it to the house, and we got us a ball game.
Yeah, and Kyrie Marshall comes up limping,
and
hopefully he can walk that off. But I think they just kind of lulled us to sleep is what they did.
Yeah.
Tell you, Matt Connolly there, 6 foot, 170-pound junior there showed a lot of speed. Rare that you see wide receivers on a play like that against the Palmetto Tigers that are able to take that one on a house call.
Yeah, when you run a wing tee, that's exactly right. You lull the defense because you're only going to throw it 6 or 7 times a game, but maybe 2 or 3 of them might go for scores on a play just like this.
Eckerly gets the kickoff. Good rush there. So it's up and good. So we've got this game knotted up. 10:58 on the clock, and the score is 7-7.
That boy's got a leg on him. I think that ball landed at Costa's restaurant somewhere down on 17th Street.
Yeah, one thing that you're seeing here tonight, we all get wrapped up with the skill people out there. We've seen really with Colorado kicking the ball for the Tigers, kicking the ball 5 yards deep into the end zone. Tonight's a night that we're seeing some special teams leg talent. Often you don't have that. We're going to have that lightning break that we talked about, and Ken, it's one of those things here in Florida that game after game, week after week, especially early on, everybody's
August.
now the players are going back into the field house, and uniquely you'll be able to re-enter a high school football game, and that gets interesting here because everything is on electronic tickets where you're showing the phone. This is a new wrinkle, right? So you're showing your tickets electronically on your phone.
Oh yeah, when they buy their tickets, they had it advertised today where you could just buy it. Yeah, it's cashless, and now the way this thing works, whenever the last lightning strike, there's a 30-minute delay unless there's another lightning strike, and then you start the 30 minutes again. So you can see it off over here, and they're backing it up, and that just appeared, and it's right there behind the Butch Hughes Gym. Got to cut that down a little bit. Yeah, here's the Butch Hughes Gym, and it's just coming down.
Speaking of lightning and thunder and Butch Hughes Gym, Ken, when we played for Butch Hughes, it was like that fear that you have when the lightning is striking in a thunderstorm. I remember being so afraid of that man. Very awesome coach, but just probably the best basketball coach I ever had. As a kid. And but he was one of those that I remember being very terrified. Like the storm here, and my friend that played hoops with us is up there watching this, Steve Johnson, in our Atlanta studios, terrified of lightning. He's very happy to be up there with his accounting pencil. And Steve, don't try to sharpen that accounting pencil with a pencil sharper. I need to tell you that. It gets, that doesn't work like that.
Speaking of being terrified, I just walked by Coach Ty Stolt, and he's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet, and the look on his face was not a positive one. He is not happy with this offense, you could tell.
Hey, Tom, you can come up here if you like. I mean,
are you sure?
Yeah, come on.
You
Up.
can't come in. You got to stand out in the rain, but you can stand up here with us outside. No, I'm joking.
I was thinking about coming up there and being a cool guy, but then I thought there's cookies in the trailer. So,
well,
no, I think you would look right. You need to be a little bit above the camera, guys, and go ahead and throw that Florida State flag up on a metal pole.
There you go.
If you can do that, Tom.
Be very careful. If you eat too many cookies, you may have to buy some new shorts.
Have to roll me out of this stadium.
All right, so during this break in the action here, what an impressive look there on TigerVision of the storm over there. And what we've seen here, the Newsome team, that's the team that went 8-3 last year, very heavily run-oriented. And the way they hit the big pass play, Rick, and that was a devastating blow. But they're really right where they want to be in the ball game with 10:58 remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, exactly. We have there was another strike, so 30 minutes. the 25 yards rushing.
Yeah, I have to go back and look, but it looked like we had Jamal Williams, number 6. We had him up on the line almost like a strong side safety, and you really kind of were manned up with the corner, so you had no safety help at all. So they, because they had not thrown the ball at all, and great play, great execution. That's you had to take advantage of those moments when you can, and they certainly did.
And again, this is the type of game we have dominated this game as far as the clock, but they hit us for the big strike, and the game is tied.
So, taking this opportunity here, we're involved in a lot of activity here. We have the Palmetto Boosters that's been very active, supporting those Palmetto High sports. We also have another nonprofit association, was the PAAA, which is the Palmetto Athletic and Academic Association. And we thank everyone for watching us here, and we thank for all the support here in our community and what we've seen over the years with the support of the community, the team. I feel very blessed with our offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator with Brazelton, and Coach Ty Stolt up there. They've stayed with the program for several years here. It hasn't been a rotating situation, and you can really see that we've built a program here at Palmetto High School.
Well, if you look at any program, whether it was Manatee back in the day with Canaan, you look at Mackley at Southeast, anybody, the coaches all, the coaching core, the senior leadership, the coaching, all stayed together. And then just like we were talking, Rick, about the players learning their positions and then learning each other, the coaches have to do the same. So when they game plan, having that camaraderie, because Stoltz and Brazelton, they could be a head coach anywhere. We could lose them at any time, but they choose to stay.
Yeah, I got to agree with you and disagree with you, because we have a good core, but we also have lost some great coaches in defensive coordinator Pat Cucci.
Oh, yeah.
Offensive line coach, big man Steve Cucci.
Yeah.
And we've been able to – Coach Marino's been able to put together some good replacements there, and we seem to have not missed a beat. Regional championship last year without Pat Cucci, who was an outstanding defensive coordinator. So
Nate Varnador was another one. We lost him.
Yeah.
He went up to Citrus County and was the head coach for many years.
And that was another good Palmetto team.
Yeah.
I think was that.
They were regional champs, the best defense in the
2011.
state.
But I do think that, getting back to your point, Brian, that you've had assistant coaches that were waiting behind that have learned the system through the Pat Cucci's and Coach Marino, and they have learned what Coach Marino expects, and so defensively, next man up, Brazelton does his job because he's been doing this job, but maybe behind the scenes, but he wasn't defensive coordinator, but he was involved in that defense just as much as everyone, right? So he learned what Pat Cucci did to be successful,
Yes.
what Coach Marino.
And it's so better not to go outside and promote from within. But Rick, your point, well taken, because he was the head coach for half of the season last year, and he turned it back over to Dave after suspension with a very good record.
He did a great job.
He did a great job. He filled in admirably.
He did a great job on interviews, and even though Tom Porter is the one interviewing him, he still was
Despite
able,
Tom.
Despite Tom.
that didn't help.
He didn't get angry at Tom, which I don't know how that didn't happen. But
I've never interviewed anybody that was more different off the mic than they were on the mic, and than Coach Brazelton.
He turned the switch on, didn't
It's a tale of two cities right there, buddy.
So I think what is important is just that, is that you mentor. There's going to be, in any leadership position, you're going to have times when people leave. They're going to go elsewhere. Pat went to the private sector, and wasn't
doing great.
Yeah, he didn't go to another high school. He didn't go to another organization. So what are these young assistant coaches learning today that's going to continue to the program and the status of this program later on? Are they going to be able to come right in and fill the shoes of the exiting next coordinator? And I say yes. I do say that Ty will be very hard to replace if he ever leaves. He's been a great offensive coordinator.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
And I would hate for him to go somewhere. But I also know not being too selfish, that he's going to have an opportunity someday to be a head coach at some high school.
He could coach at the college level if he wanted. If he really wanted to, he could coach at the college level.
But the way that he's been able to develop quarterbacks since we've been doing TigerVision, it's been fun to watch, because he's really had to just mentor, mold, and educate these young quarterbacks on what it means to be a Tiger quarterback.
This will probably be his first quarterback he gets 4 years with, guys.
That is so true.
Came up as a sophomore.
Yes,
that
the
is
last
so
two
true.
quarterbacks we have had, he's had just for their – well, they started there last year. He had Marino for a couple of seasons.
You got to be happy about that, right? If you're
He might stay around for a little bit.
That may keep him for at least 4 more, right?
Yes.
I got to tell you, that first drive, I was so impressed with the quarterback because we didn't look great. We were getting 2 yards, 3 yards in cloud of dust kind of situation, but he found a way to move the chains. And that's the real winners. And I hate to say this too soon, but like a Tom Brady type quarterback, he's not always flashy. He's not always throwing it 80 yards down the field. He just dinks and dunks enough to keep it moving when things aren't going perfectly and wait for the opportunity.
Well, we've only seen two series, but what I've already seen from this young quarterback is his intelligence for the game. I mean, his knowledge of the game and his knowledge of this offense, because on one of those drives, on one play, I saw him move 3 different players into position before the ball was snapped. Well, so he knows where they need to be. So, I mean, he knows where he wants to throw that ball. And I saw him on another play check down 3 times before he dumped it off.
His father, Buddy Smith, was a great man. But I think he had Xander started in camps and those kind of things, which helps and training. I know that Ty Stolt, our offensive coordinator, who absolutely can still spin the bean and throw the ball, and getting the release points right, the footwork right, and that thing did not start this year or last year. That's something that's been going on probably for 5 or 6 years. Yes. So he's been out there diligently practicing his trade. So you mix in a little talent with a lot of preparation, and it's a dynamic combination.
And he's got great players around him. But Tom, I have a question for you. Offensive line, we struggled against Jesuit on the line. We talked about it at the game, but we have some kids eligible, and we had some kids transfer in. What's your take on what you've seen so far in the line?
Well, they didn't have a great start, I would say. Now, the defensive line is pretty big and stocky, and it's always hard the first quarter to judge any offensive line because, everybody's at their best on defense. But they were able to move the ball a little at a time, and like I said, Xander was able to keep it going. So that type of offense, it seems like Marino's going to want to continue to grind them out a little bit, and then second quarter, third quarter, you start seeing more of those guys slowing down a little bit and being able to impose your will with the offensive line. So, there's always that curse in Palmetto. We have athletes everywhere, but they're 5'7". So we have to get guys that transfer in, that families move in from out of state or whatever to get some good size. Very few of these guys are going to be 6'5", 6'6", like you see at Jesuit. Those boys are huge up there. So, they look good. They look organized. I haven't seen anybody jump off sides. I haven't seen any bad snaps or anything. One snap was a little to Xander's left, I noticed. But, future looks bright. A guy that I know, his son's on the sideline. He's looking to be a starter, supposedly. He's working some things out. He's going to be a starter here soon. So, future looks bright. They find a way to use whatever players we have every year, and that's a testament to coaching.
And, Tom, that's something that I've noticed over the years, the good coaches, that they, like a system. Here is our system. Here's what we run. That is never the case here at Palmetto High School. The program, the offense, and the defense is built around the personnel that shows up here on campus. And the coaches work with that. They get the best out of the players. And as far as player development goes, they are going to give that player the best opportunity to be successful and make a splash, make an impact enough on tape as we're recording these games to have an opportunity to move to the next level and play on Saturday.
I think you go back about when Anthony Marino was the quarterback of that team. We talked about these stats consistently for several weeks because their run to pass ratio was almost identical. You guys remember that?
Yes.
It was incredible how balanced the offense was. And I think that really that's just how Coach Ty and Coach Marino, that they want to run the ball. They know when to pass. They're going to pass the ball when you think we're going to run. But it's so balanced. When you get to the end of the game, you're like, man, we really passed the ball a lot that game. But no, we didn't. We did not. We ran almost as many times as we passed the ball. So, that I don't think that this when you look at Newsome, if you're going to run a wing T offense, you better hope that you get those style of players every year, right, into that system. We're not going to get those type of players every year. So you take your athleticism, you take your speed, no matter how big they are, and you make it work, and that's what they do.
Yeah, and then, back to that season a couple years ago, Kenny and I like to run some numbers, take a look at the math part of it, and that we had 2 games where it was within a yard or two, offensive rushing statistics and receiving statistics. At the end of that, I still have that underneath my 10 key at my office, and I got one of those on the side, and I do use all the new technology. And I know the guys in the truck down there running the technology are laughing at me now. But that season, we had a difference of 12 yards between the rushing yardage gain and passing. I'm talking 12 yards, and I think we had 12 games in that season.
Yes, that's pretty
Incredible.
balanced. That is hard to pull off.
You got to keep in mind Steve Johnson keeps our stats. So, I mean.
From far, far away.
And, the rumor is up there in our Atlanta studio that he's never been supplied with erasers up there. So, he has to go with what he has.
He uses the pencils that you get when you go golfing. He takes he takes those
wedges.
Yeah, he takes those with him every time he leaves. Plays 18, takes a couple pencils.
And we love Steve does not have access to the microphones here, so
he can't defend himself.
It's game on during this long lightning delay. But looking at the statistics, Troy and Steve are working on that. I want to turn it over to Troy for just a second here. Troy Bellamy, what's your opinion? You've got the stats in front of you, but what do you think so far here in the game?
Welcome again to another great season of Tiger football, folks. This is Troy Bellamy. My assessment of the halftime so far, with this team being a wing T offense, they took a majority of the first quarter as far as time of possession. And we normally are a quick strike offense. We had a nice sustained drive with Xander moving the ball, a little mix of run and a little mix of pass. Got them to jump off sides a couple of times. But what I saw as far as stats are concerned, obviously Xander started pretty hot. He's 4 for 5. Not for many yards, a lot of short passes, but we did get a big first down when he hit Timmons on a pass. Couple passes. That's going to be an important hookup to watch for all season. Rockland Lodge pressing the edges, and Mouse and Humans pressing the middle of the line. So I saw a lot of good things. Again, the numbers won't bear that out, but when you actually look at the balance of run and pass and see how we move the ball up and down the field to get the score, now we got to get our defense more solid so we don't give up those big explosive plays. Because this is the kind of team you don't want to end up in a field position battle with, because they're going to, with the wing T, they're going to get 3 yards in a cloud of dust. 3 yards in a cloud of dust until they pop one, or maybe they catch you in a wrong alignment, and then they hit you with the long pass like they just hit it. One-on-one, they never beat one of our DBs like that. But, again, when you're looking for them, they've got guys going in all kinds of directions. It's assignment football. You just got to stay home, do your job, and not give up the big play, and that's how you can stymie an offense like that. But I'm very encouraged with what our offense was able to do. And statistically, again, it's not going to be large numbers. We only played a quarter of football, but we did see a very nice sustained drive put together by the offense. Coach Ty always does a great job of mixing things up. Now he's got a few toys to play with. And, he's got a couple of other guys over there on the sideline that haven't quite hit the field yet. When you see the speed of a Damari Magwood, or you throw the ball to big Malik Callaway, now you got some real problems. They haven't hit Rockland out of the backfield yet, but again, he's pressing the edges. So I'm excited. I'm very happy, and I'm just glad that football's going on again. If we get this lightning to move a little east, I think we'll be fine.
You know what I love, guys? I love the look on Troy's face when someone throws it to him and he's not expecting it, and he acts like he doesn't know what he's going to say, and then he talks for 6 minutes. I love that. That's phenomenal.
That's what comes from being the preacher's nephew.
Are we talking about Troy?
Yeah, we are. Troy, are.
The Barry White of TigerVision.
exactly.
Yeah, and Troy was the replace. We had this replacements, and then one night in here at Harley Stadium, Brian Bustle, our public address guy, was out. And Brian Bustle does such a wonderful job on public address. I'm sitting in front of the press box, and we're going to rotate one of us off the TigerVision crew, and we all came to agreement that we were not capable. And Troy was sitting there, so I start talking to Troy, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a run. I'll give it a go. I can do this." And he jumped in at the public address here, and was just awesome. And we were like, oh, "Okay, all right." So we got to have Troy with the crew here.
Yeah, he's very talented. I tell you what I like about Troy. No kidding. I like when we're doing our games. Like right now, we have a lot of new players on this team. And we're still trying to figure out some of the new personnel. Troy, he knows 90% of them already.
That's right.
Because
had him in class.
Because he has a relationship with him. So it's nice because you can go to Troy and he'll even give you like a little backstory on. Yeah, he played with the Manatee Mustangs or the Trojan, and then he played basketball here. So it's great because he has that connection.
That insight with the kids, the relationship, that just brings more value to the broadcast.
It reminds me of Ricky Wells a couple years ago when his son was playing, and he knew every detail of that.
Yeah, I was a false prophet.
Yeah,
because I had all those kids that Tyler had played with. I knew them all. Then they all left together, and now my nickname is Clueless. I'm absolutely clueless.
You gave us all the nicknames.
Yeah. and
that's poo-poo right there. Okay,
I had fun with that. With Tom Porter, I'm picking on him during the games, and my cart truck is getting old. It has this many miles on it, so I've already been to the moon, which is 238,000 miles. So if I have 290,000, how far am I? Troy's actually over here doing the math because Troy's a math teacher, and I think he's an AD over at Lincoln, right? And one other game, I'm giving Tom an impossible math question, which he answered, surprisingly.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, and we were talking about slope, and Troy was over here to my side saying, "Hey, I was just teaching this today." So, and one thing that we are thankful of here, the guys over the years, they come into Palmetto High School and they're prepared, and academically, the players that we've had a part of this program, they've done a wonderful job coming in, and it's just been nice, for that to work. And
so speaking of academics, Rick, Tyler was in the ACE program here. There was 2 or 3 of his teammates, I think, were on it. Give us a Tyler update.
Tyler's doing great. Tomorrow we're going to take him back to Orlando.
UCF.
Yep, and him and his buddies are coming off campus this year. They've got them an apartment.
Oh,
it's still like campus housing, but it's not on campus. So they're living big, and they think they're all special. So we're taking them back up there. He is thinking about they are going to have some walk-on tryouts this year at UCF. He's thinking about giving it a go. He's still in great shape. He's been working out. I'm sad to see him go, but he will save me $400 a month just in grocery bills.
And just like the crew here, that was my next question. How is he lighten the load there at the house on the grocery bill?
Yeah. He's quite the consumer.
Yeah.
But you know what? Talking about the ACE program, Tyler was able to come to Palmetto and participate in ACE and receive bright futures and is doing such a great job in college, and that's what I really want people to know when they're thinking about where they want to send their kid. I mean, that ACE program, you get them in there, that will pave their way to college. All they have to do is work hard, right? And it's such a great benefit for parents. So college is not cheap. I don't know if anybody told you all that, but I mean, even when they have scholarships, it's not cheap. You're paying for something. So any assistance you can get, but academically they are prepared for college when they get there. Yeah. They have gone through all of the teaching that they need, all of the instruction. These teachers are outstanding. So, I just hope that we can continue to get the students here to be a part of ACE because it's huge.
And really one of the only schools in Manatee County for a long time with the Cambridge ACE program. Now, Tom, as you're spelling Cambridge ACE for me, I'm going to take a pause here. Crickets?
Crickets.
No, hey, don't. Hey, no hurry. We'll wait.
Actually, I was just going to say earlier in the week there, they handed out like 50 or so of those ACE diplomas, and how awesome is that? So my son did 2 years of that ACE diploma thing, and that was great.
Yeah, where's he at?
He's at Florida State.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there
So
you go.
That's awesome.
So we didn't know much about it really. So now they've created this ACE Parent Alliance. Rachel Kinzier is a big part of that. She's a great booster
She's a
here at
great
Palmetto.
advocate, yes.
And they do such a good job of educating the parents about what the benefits are. And like with Tyler, Tyler doesn't have to pay anything for any of his college. All his credit hours are paid for 4 years. And that's amazing.
fantastic,
And that's without
Tom.
having to take the SAT or ACT. It doesn't matter what you get on that. You have to get the entrance for the school, but it doesn't dictate the level of bright futures you get. You get the ultimate highest part, 100% paid. And what a huge thing that is for Palmetto parents to be able to take that burden off their mind, just because this one school allows us to do that. It's amazing.
And I think the sports program here, you can see it in the locker rooms, various locker rooms around campus here with the sports programs here. They have the scales up there with the academic test requirements, the sliding scale, the GPA requirements. It's something that is a focus here at Palmetto High School. It's not that, hey, wow, we got a good football player here. But the attention, it's there in front of the young men every day. It's right there by the lockers. And it's something that the coaches here pay a lot of attention to. And we're so, over the years, so appreciative.
Brian, you're so right. Coach Marino, he makes it very clear to these players on day one. If you act up in school, you're not starting. I don't care if you're the starting tailback. I don't care if you're the starting D-line. I don't care who you are. If you act up in school, if you don't do what's necessary academically, and you're not starting. You're not playing this next game. I remember his first season when he was really trying to come in and show these young kids what he's all about. We played a game. I think about 6 starters were on the bench because of academics, or because of their attitude in school, right? And they learned very quickly that he wasn't joking, because this is not just about football. Academically is where we need to focus. Football comes second. And I've always admired him for that, because that was his first season. He's got to be thinking, now, if I go 0-10 here, are they going to call me back next year, or what's going to happen? But I can tell you, Tyler has eight kids with him at UCF that he graduated with here at Palmetto. They're all, and we got kids all over the country, because of their time at ACE, and some that just took advanced classes here. And now are in college,
And I, it's so proud. I remember coaching here, for a couple of years in the basketball program, and I had guys like Reggie Beatty, out here. He's on the team, and Reggie has gone on, and he's got his master's degree, and I am just so proud of Reggie. Amp Golzar, Anthony Johnson, he was another that I had, talking to him as a student athlete here at Palmetto High School, watching him go to USF, watching him graduate from USF with his finance degree. It's so important. And then you see the love, like with Troy here, who teaches at Lincoln, the students, the love, and probably more of a disciplinarian during the time together on the campus. But then when they get away, you can see that the individuals in our community, they really care for these we used to call them kids, now we call them young men or student athletes, but the entire campus here at Palmetto High School, you can see the relationships over the years. And what is cool as an old coach, to see those young men come back to our own community. And, it's wonderful. When you're looking at a guy you coached when you were 13 years old, he's out there mowing his yard, and waving you down because you're driving the old same truck you used to, and the care and the love we have here in this community is something special. We have on all of our gear, it says one town, one team, and that's something that really is reflected in the culture here at Palmetto High School.
That really is a special place. Do you think that when Troy is coaching basketball and gets a little agitated, I don't know if Troy gets agitated when he's coaching. You think his voice gets deeper? Or does it go higher? I'm sure that doesn't happen very often.
You know, Brian, as you're talking about, you know, the community and all the stuff we got going on here and how great it is. I'm looking at the back of your shirt and the TigerVision, the new TigerVision shirt, 10 years.
Right.
We've been doing this for 10 years. And talk about keeping a group together. I mean, we've got the original group sitting here for 10 years. That's amazing. All the stuff that Jordan and Chad and all the different guys we've had in the booth, in the trailer downstairs. And, I mean, this has been a big part of recognition in Palmetto. And, I'm proud of us, honestly. I think we've done a great job of representing Palmetto in a great way.
I was thinking about Jordan and Chad 10 years ago and how they initially started it. But if you think, 10 years for TigerVision, but there's no TigerVision, there's no one town, one team. So you have all these things that have spawned off of it. That all the booster, the academic booster club. You wonder if it would ever happened had there not been a TigerVision. So great job, guys, in the truck.
Yeah, without Jordan and Chad, there's none of this. We just, we just fumble, bumble, and stumble our way through this, right? All we do is show
like
up.
We're doing now.
Yeah, we just right, and they shake their heads like, "Oh my gosh,
and
shut up."
We know, our great viewers that we have out there. You got Thomas out in Spokane, Washington. We know he's watching the game and thinking, "Oh brother," we've got. We had the voted #1 live stream at 1 year, and it started off with 6 people, myself being one of them, watching them. Abel, my youngest son, had a Sony camcorder that was the size of a business card. You're looking through that, filming the one-camera football games, and the way it grew over the year. And our part, we have such a big viewing audience. Sometime we'll have 40 and I hope our sponsors are listening, 40 to 60,000 views on a ball game, and it's just amazing from where we started.
Well, let me tell you,
and our fans out there, we probably have a couple hundred, and they'll be sure to tell us. They're probably lighting us up on the thing these guys are talking. There's a couple of them, 100 of them, that can do probably a better job than what we do up here
no doubt.
calling a football game.
Without a doubt.
But really, the trick of it is behind us out there in the truck.
That is TigerVision. We started on AM radio. Okay, and Jordan comes along and starts talking about streaming live, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Gigawatts.
I didn't even know what he was talking about. I didn't know where are we streaming. Right, and he comes in, and 1 year he's got this huge box. Remember, Brian? We
Yes.
Heavy.
We didn't have a truck. We didn't have anything. Yep. We had this huge box and this wooden box, and him and Chad, they're hooking everything up. It's like, it's like the worst case for a fire marshal to walk into, right? But it was effective, and they just keep getting bigger and better, and they put everybody to shame.
It's a stressful job that they have, and I want to choke them half of the time. But I'm going to tell you, when you walk into that trailer,
I think that feeling's mutual.
when you walk into that trailer before a game, and things appear to be going great, but they know it's not. There's some palpable tension in that trailer, and I usually walk in and go, well, okay, I'm going to grab a cookie and walk back out, boys, because they are going to the last minute to get this thing up and running and to make it look easy. And they talk like it's easy, but the 5
awful.
Dummies up here wouldn't have a clue.
No,
it's awful.
Yeah, they were having some challenges tonight.
Right? So this is the worst time of year for them.
And with this, the weather's
they sweat off like 10 pounds before we even go on air.
And thank goodness the first 3 games are at home, so we can get these kinks worked out. And because when we go on the road, you just do not know what to expect. What not for us, but just more for them.
Yeah,
because we're going to go to some new venues this year that we haven't been, so that's going to be a whole new challenge.
Yeah, the furthest we're going is going to be Orlando. Is that correct?
Jones High School, yes,
right,
in October, late October.
And during this long break here, we may be able to get the guys out in the truck here how to sponsor their sponsorship availabilities that are still open here for TigerVision, and some of the other things that go along with that. The school here. The Booster Club organization we have here, and there's a lot of opportunities here. And for this time, now we have a steady rain coming and much more lightning flashes. So this is
we're going to be here for a while,
10
gentlemen.
minutes and 58 seconds in the second quarter. Now I hear that Troy is quite the vocalist and quite the singer. So I'm going to turn it over to Troy now, and he's going to lay down a tune for you. Just what you
There's
got,
that
Troy.
look. There's that face.
Rick wants me to sing a Barry White song.
I love Barry White. I just like that. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
I want to take this time to express my thanks and appreciation for the opportunity to work with you guys. First of all, I'm not from Palmetto, obviously, but I have nothing but respect because my father grew up in this community, went to Lincoln. I have so many family members who've gone here, and I've been accepted from day one as a basketball coach, or part of the basketball staff, and I'm excited about what has happened in the past and exciting for the future for Abel and the rest of the program. But just being able to be here with all of you gentlemen, I have a ton of respect for all of you. I mean, when you actually get to work with the sheriff and the county tax collector and other people that they care about the kids. That's, for me, that is the rub. And I got that from being at Lincoln, learning from the LMA experience. Ed Hundley gave that to us. Whatever you think about him, a lot of other great people that sacrificed, Kevin Jackson, other people who really love kids and want to see these kids grow. And for me to come here and watch my kids come from 6th grade and now they're juniors in high school and they're playing football and they're doing well in school, watching the guys like you mentioned, your son, watch you guys watch your sons grow up and graduate, that's incredible. But just here, being at the level of professionalism that's displayed every week. Everybody's here. Everybody's working hard, doing prep work. Jordan's running around. Got little Seth hooping guarding around. Chad, Nick, Jay West, all the guys just working hard to bring the people of Palmetto the best product in the United States. We live in one of the best areas in the country. That's why everybody's moving here. And now you can come out on a Friday night and see some of the best young athletes in the state of Florida on the best program in television. That's incredible. This has been a dream come true. I remember when I was a freshman at Rollins College moons ago, my roommate is now the director at Full Sail technological, broadcasting and all that. We used to dream. We used to practice talking like Howard Cosell and Dick Enberg and Vin Scully.
Right.
We just practice these kinds of things. So this is a dream for me. This is something that I've loved to do ever since I was a kid. I watch sports. I play sports. But my dad would always tell me, watch the guys who talk about it. Speak like them. Articulate yourself like them. And so that, when I try to come on and add my little 2 cents to a high school football game, this is a passion for me. And you guys made it available for me as an opportunity. And like I said, I love working with you guys, talking to you guys, hanging out, traveling on the road, whatever it is, in the rain, in the heat, in the wind. But I really appreciate you all for this opportunity. And now when I walk around town, hey, aren't you a guy on TigerVision? Oh, yeah. Weren't you on TV? Or did you say the stats last week? It's just great. This is a dream come true.
Hey, Brian, he just said a lot right there, but I'm still stuck on the one sentence. You get to hang out with all the great people like the sheriff and the tax collector and the other guys. I think that's me and you, Brian. We're the other guys.
The other guy. Let me be more specific.
I'm just saying,
the other
buddy.
guys.
Yeah,
I don't mind being another guy. That's all right.
Tom, it's great to be that guy.
Hey, you are those dudes, man.
Well, we appreciate you, Troy, and you are a part of this team. You are TigerVision, and what you've been able to do, and to come here and to go down the sideline and help there, and I mean we don't miss a beat. So when Tom is somewhere buying some new shorts and he can't make the game, you're there. You take care of business. So you have been an awesome addition to this crew, and we don't ever want you to go anywhere else.
And what's sad, I'm Brian here. I'll be calling Troy on a Friday at 6:30. Well, it's sideline tonight, or it's statistics tonight, or Johnson's on the road up in Atlanta. And so Troy has worn a lot of hats.
He does it all, yeah. And we can't do stats. Let's be honest.
Let's call him Slash.
Yeah, Slash.
But any hat that you would wear here would not be as big as the hat on Tom's cranium back here behind me.
Well, Brian, that's funny you say that because I believe my hat and your hat are the exact same size, buddy. Those other guys' hats.
Yeah, well, I would have had you back when I was sporting the fro, but yeah, both Tom and I have the hat. The button on the back, it's open. If it's one of those things with the plastic buttons on the back.
I actually just bought an extender from Amazon. I'm not even kidding. I didn't either, but I've been dreaming of that for years.
Amazon.
All those snapback hats are so cool, and everybody's wearing them, and I can never wear them because my big old head.
Yeah.
But now I got that extender, man. It was like $6.99. Man, that's the best little piece of plastic I ever bought in my life.
If you can BOGO a couple extra for me, Tom,
I have to tie two of them together for you.
It.
Last year when you guys were in Miami, I know it didn't turn out the way we wanted to, but I could not go because of work. And I remember, and I was also having to coach my son's team in flag football, and I'm the only coach, so I'm like, I can't go. I was at Lakewood Ranch Park with my phone. I'm trying to coach this flag football team. I don't think we won that night because I spent more time listening to you guys and trying to figure out what the Tigers were doing than I was coaching the game. But that was painful not to be able to be there with y'all. And I know Tom, I think he spent the whole game in the rain, didn't you, Tommy?
Sure did.
It was just a nasty night. And but I was so proud of what the Tigers had done, 2 years in a row, and you win the regional.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that just was huge. And last year we really didn't know what we had, and those kids came together and they worked hard and they got better and better, and so we're kind of spoiled. But no matter what happens this year, I know that this team is going to be great because you can see that talent, and as soon as they start to learn the system, they bond together. We got all these young players that are going to be here for at least 3 more years. I think we're looking at a great future for Tiger football.
Yeah, it's imperative that they start well, and as Don Shula used to say, win early and often. Have you looked at the schedule? It is daunting.
Do you expect anything else from Coach Marino? It's unreal, this schedule, though. This is all –
and Braden Rivers not on it, which I was kind of – because they give us fits, but
we got Riverview, Manatee.
Including this team, there are 3 8A teams on the schedule, include 2 of them that could win the state championship in Venice and Riverview. Of course, we play Riverview every year, but we got to go back to Venice. It is a daunting schedule. If we don't win the district, we have Lakewood. Southeast is improving. Newsome's been a playoff team. St. Pete Lakewood has played tough football. Riverview's been a regional champ.
That right there, though, Kenny, that September 10th, 17th, 24th, Riverview, Manatee, Venice. That is 3
Murder's
weeks.
Row, right in the middle of the lineup.
That is going to be huge for the Tigers. I mean, we got to win one of those games at least, right? And we can win all 3. But that's going to take a lot of focus and a lot of determination because Riverview, we know what Riverview can do.
Oh yeah,
they're loaded.
They are always loaded. And in the last 4 years, we've seen that program turn around.
Yeah, the game. If we only win one of those games, Rick, it's got to be Manatee because that's the district game.
Got to beat Manatee.
Got to win the district. Our district is tough. But then we got to go hit the road and play Venice.
And we got Manatee home this year, right?
No, yes.
They're
we
here.
have them.
They're here, yeah.
Then we go to Venice. And Leonard's in our district. That's not going to be a cupcake game. They were 4-6 last year, but Matt Kitchie, who is their coach, is very familiar. He played at Southeast, coached at Southeast. He knows Marino. So he knows Palmetto. So it's going to be like playing Braden River, I think. Then we get an open week. We got East Bay in our district. Got to go to Bloomingdale and play against the band again with 250 members. Got to go play Orlando Jones. They were in the regional finals.
They're always tough.
Yeah, and we're going to Orlando. They were 5A or 6A, 5A regional finals. This Clearwater Academy School is off the charts. They're like a mini IMG. So if we don't win the district and we finish 4-6, I guarantee you we will be the 5th seed after the top 4 districts because we're going back to the strength of schedule like we saw in 19. And if you remember, we were the top. That we had the toughest schedule in the state of Florida, and I think by the end of the year it had dropped to number 5. This might be number 1 here.
Well, you remember Braden River had a dismal season in 19 for their standards, and they still made it to the playoffs because of strength of schedule.
And they were the 5th seed.
Right.
Yeah, they were 4 and 6.
Right.
Yes.
For the record, I heard that Coach Marino did reach out to Braden River to play this year, and they declined.
Here we go.
They declined. I'm sure there was some scheduling conflicts, but they did decline. So
yeah, and they're to their whatever the deal was. They're only 6A and we're 7A, so you have to play your district games, and it may fall into a week. But that's only for this year. They're going to draw do the districts again all over to get back to normal.
Can you tell me how this works with your mathematical mind? How do we go so crazy with the districts? How do we go? We're 7, right?
Yeah.
They're 6. How's that happen? Population of school? How's that happen?
It's the number of athletes in the top 3 grades, or it used to be. They take a number. They do it every 2 years. Last year was crazy because of COVID, but I really think our numbers didn't go down to what they were projected, because I don't think Parrish has the numbers they thought they were going to have. Now, that'll obviously change just because of the people moving here are gonna fill that school up. So
that's why
I think we might have been technically a low 7A school last year, or maybe one of the larger 6A schools in the state last year. We were right on that bubble.
So we had to be one of the smallest schools student-wise compared to Braden River. I know we're talking about athletes, but I mean our enrollment at Palmetto is not larger than Braden River.
It would be the number of males in the top 3 grades.
That's why you're here, because no one else would even want to know that.
Yeah,
we can't figure that out. So I see the district changes come out. I'm like, how do we go to 7A?
Well, it's just for this year, and usually they do it 2 years. But
why?
Next year we're going to recount it.
Okay, here's another question. Why are they doing it?
Because last year was COVID. And they're trying to get back on. The FHSA is trying to get back on their normal.
So why not just leave everything alone for this year and then start it next year?
Yeah, they could do that. They could have done that, but they
stop trying to make sense over here. Come on, guys.
Sometimes common sense isn't the way it works. But yeah, I get it, Rick. Yes.
Okay, Rick and I, we call the games, and the next play is the most important game, the game in front of us, and all that. And when you get into the weeds with the analysis,
you got to go to Kenny, man.
The Minister of Information.
You got to go to Kenny. Who would know that?
Kenny always has. When you pose a question, I'm thinking layup, and I'm turning my microphone off and going to hand it to Troy or put my earpiece off, because I know Kenny's going to take that softball, and just for Ken and drive that one out of the park. Sorry, it's Ken Burton Jr. We grew up together.
Oh, no.
Sorry to call you Kenny there, but we've been around for a little while.
That's what the employees, when somebody comes in and they ask for Kenny, it must be somebody you went to school with or grew up with.
Yeah, when you send me that blue Christmas card that comes in there about November with all the numbers on that, I just
please remit,
sir.
Christmas card.
Hey, just so y'all know, since Kenny started talking about the way the districts are formed, we had 27 lightning strikes.
So you keep adding 30 minutes to the last one, and we got to keep talking. And look at these guys. We don't even have to go to our phones to look at a radar. They provide it for us. Just making it happen, making it look
on
easy.
On the ticker, they've got some special offers here from Conley Buick GMC. Rolling on here, the guys in the truck getting real creative here, and right now during the game, visit www.conleysubaru.com for exclusive limited time offers. Sponsors out there, the ticker package is one of the great ones. Your sponsorship, there's Workers' Comp, Garrett, Richard, that's my company, and here it is on the scroller here that rolls constantly during this game. And if you're fortunate enough to get, if there's 662 customs there, if you're fortunate enough to get a rain delay, think about all that additional advertising that you get, not only here in Manatee County, but around Florida's Suncoast.
Full circle. I talk about them for a second. That's Tyler Peacock, Palmetto High, graduated. Now he's the strength coach at Palmetto High.
Big baseball guy.
Well, that's his brother.
Oh, that's his brother.
Brian. He's a commercial fisherman.
That's right.
And he played professional baseball for 10 years, I believe. Played with the Expos and the Reds, and and had a great career being a catcher. But Tyler is the strength coach at
Gotcha.
Palmetto High. His gym is right there on 10th Street, right just down here by the school.
I saw that when I was coming in. They used to be like a food market or a
It was
produce
the old,
market.
yeah, it was the old Handy Dandy or whatever they called it back when.
It was the
a
Little General.
Little
Yeah,
General.
that's what it was.
General, yeah.
And but he's there, and he had a young lady with him out at the beach when we were out with the family that spoke no English, but he was training her, and I could not believe how well he spoke Spanish to her. But she was running in the Olympics for Ecuador, and we watched her run.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
The 4x100. It was on 9 o'clock. One of the nights the United States, I think, won that heat.
Wow.
But she was running in that, and he's trained her here. He's trained
So
scores of when he was at Florida State. He trained scores of Olympic athletes.
I got a question for you, Ken. So, where does your son James train?
He trains now in his garage.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was wondering about that. You know,
He trained when City Fitness, who was a sponsor last year. When he was home, he would train there.
okay, because he must be kicking it old school like Clubber Lang, Mr. T used to kick it. Because I was during COVID walking the neighborhood, and James down there looked like Tarzan coming down the road.
Oh, wow.
I mean, of course he's a sergeant in the military.
Master Sergeant.
Master
yeah.
sergeant.
So how old is he now?
26.
Wow.
He's down in the booth managing the cameras, doing a great job. It's family night, Brian, when we get to spend time with our kids, and I'm glad I don't have to work out with him anymore.
So we're still in the middle of a lightning delay here. One of the great things about the scroller here, you can go to the Manatee County games. Some of the games have been canceled, and
Everything down south has been canceled already.
So everything down south has been canceled.
Parish is canceled.
Parish is canceled.
What's going on here, you think? How long are they going to wait?
Well, the lights are on, the scoreboard's on.
They already picked up everything on the
Maybe
sideline.
they've already went home.
Did
and they
anybody
didn't tell us.
No one's going to tell us, and we're going to be talking for 8 hours? Or
Cut
what?
it off here.
I just saw the TigerVision trailer go by.
Well, that's impossible, man.
They were heading to Hungry
If
Howie's.
that thing's still, with all the cables still attached, we're going to be dragged down
They're
the
going
road
to
here.
drag us in the press box with them.
Yeah, this is the time, filling the dead air here. Dead air is always a killer.
Well, I'm
And
going to
it's
predict, since Brian predicted that we were going to be in this
Mr.
position,
Negative.
I'm going to predict this game is going to be called.
Yeah, that's
That's what we call in law enforcement a clue.
Yeah. Well, the clue is right here, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
That's
That's
data
pretty-
right
that's-
there
that's
to
nasty.
drive your data. Your clue right there
Yeah.
is it doesn't look good.
Young Mr. Hooper Gardner says they're making a decision at 9 o'clock, which is about 7 more minutes. We should know what's
So
going
we
on.
should
here,
know what's
so.
going on for 7 more minutes. During that time, I was thinking about the Warner Brothers cartoon, with the frog in the curtain. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Hey, well,
and then
hey,
you open the curtain for the game here tonight for
Croaks.
TigerVision. It's
The Newsome coaches are saying, bye, guys, see you later.
Yeah.
That's also a clue.
Exactly.
yeah.
Brian, you have just the most amazing references of any high school football broadcast ever. Clubber Lang, that's probably a first. The
Clubber
frog.
Lang. Okay, Clubber Lang. You remember
Yeah,
his
Mr.
workout
T.
routine.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Rocky was
Rocky.
blowing bubbles
Oh,
with the
yeah.
violins playing. And
Yes.
Clubber Lang, Mr. T. was
All I
going-
remember about Clubber Lang is he killed, what's his name? The old man.
Mr. T.
No, the old man. He threw him down and gave him a heart attack or something.
Mickey.
Burgess
Mickey.
Meredith.
Oh, Mickey. Anybody
Burgess
that's going to hurt
Meredith.
Mickey, I don't want to talk about.
All right, so we're filling with ad lib here. We want to thank our audience, and we're going to get a notice here pretty soon. And what's amazing is, we haven't quit yet, and we still have viewers watching this game, and probably our fans love us so much. The only way is probably to get Bill Britt on the air here so we can have some bandwidth drop off. What do you think, Tom?
Let's slow it on down with Bill Britt. Oh, Coach Ty's coming in. We'll see what's going on.
Okay.
His face looks better. He was a little aggravated earlier, but now he's looking happier. So maybe we're done for the night.
So, out there, TigerVision sponsorships are available. Let's do that. Looks to me very much like this is going to be a no-show tonight. And we've got all the graphics up. The public address guy, Seth Hoopengardner, coming over here. Seth, what have you heard? And he's one of our seasoned veterans here. I think you're a junior in high school here at Palmetto High School. What have you heard, Seth?
About what?
I've heard that at 9 o'clock, then they're going to make a decision on whether or not the game will be postponed or they'll keep playing.
Okay, Seth's one of the student athletes here,
hey,
a tennis
here,
player.
the lights are going out, guys. That's another clue.
And it's lightning too.
So we're going to wrap it up. So when the lights go down in the city, Tom would like to sing a little Journey for us here.
Steve Perry.
Steve Perry.
When the lights go down in the city.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. We thank you for listening to us for such an enormous time here. When the clock turns off here, it'll be 10:58 in the second quarter. This game is called. The score was 7-7 here at Palmetto High School. And so the Palmetto Tigers and the Newsome Wolves were knotted up at 7. Be sure to join us next week in beautiful Palmetto, sure thing, as the Palmetto Tigers play their longtime traditional rival, the Southeast Seminoles. We, again, thank you, the #1 fans in the world, for watching TigerVision. Is presented by Conley Buick GMC. Remember, fans, for great Manatee County high school football north of the Manatee River, you're only going to find it here in our town with our team, Palmetto High School. One town, one team. Go Tigers.